Hey guys, what's up? Spenny here. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a price prediction on Virgin Galactic for the years 2025 and 2030. Now, I'm not just going to throw out these numbers out of midair. I'm actually going to be using knowledge that we have today. I'm going to project their revenues out based on information we actually know, and we're going to be able to get somewhat of an idea of where Virgin Galactic could be trading 5 to 10 years out. So make sure you stay tuned till the end. I think you're going to find this video very informative. And I'm also going to dive into a Motley Fool article where they talk about the most important numbers you need to know when it comes to investing into Virgin Galactic. We're going to be looking at these numbers and maybe using a bit of them when doing our price prediction. So let's get straight into this video. Okay, so straight into this Motley Fool article. So it says here that Virgin Galactic CEO Michael Colliser explained that as its test flight program evolves into a commercial space tourism business sometime next year, the company is ramping up its growth plans. From just a single plane today flying out of Spaceport, New Mexico, keep in mind, we actually have basically 2 planes completed, but I guess we're just going to be flying out 1 in the near term. But there are 2 basically completed right now. And then it continues on here. Virgin Galactic plans to build entire fleets of space planes and to fly them out of multiple spaceports around the world. That is the big plan. We want, dozens of planes from spaceports around the world. That's the big vision Virgin Galactic has. Right now we have 1 spaceport and basically 2 space ships completed. So a ways away from that, but this is, you're investing in an early stage company. But that's really how you get the big returns, is by investing early. It takes a little bit of risk, but big risk, big reward. It goes hand in hand. Let's continue on here though. So eventually Colliser hopes to be launching space planes 400 times per year per spaceport and bringing in $1 billion annually from each spaceport. Now the math is a little fuzzy here. 400 flights generating $1 billion in total revenue will require an average ticket price of $416,000. That's 67% higher than the advertised price of $250,000. So it continues on here. It's going to be hard to grow the size of Virgin Galactic's addressable market if Virgin's first move is to raise its prices. And yet, according to Chief Space Officer George Whitesides, this is in fact the plan, to raise prices substantially. Now maybe this is true in the short term. They might need to raise the ticket prices. However, long term, they do plan on bringing down the ticket prices to hopefully around that $50,000 range, which would make their total addressable market explode. Instead of, let's say, 2 million people being able to afford a $250K ticket, it would be 40 plus million. So it would really help bring in more customers. So yeah, that's their long-term plan. Let's continue on and see what else they have to say here. So Virgin anticipates that each of its space planes can fly about 50 times per year. To achieve 400 flights will therefore require building 8 space planes per spaceport at a cost of $30 million to $35 million per space plane. Okay, so we know a space plane can fly about once per week. That number is going to be really important to know to actually project out the revenues. And then as far as the ticket price goes, that's where things get really hard to actually guess where it's going to be. I don't really want to project my numbers off of a $416K ticket price. I want to use that $250K. I feel like $416K is just not going to work for this company. It would dramatically bring down their total addressable market. So yeah, we're going to go off of $250K per ticket in my revenue projections here. So looking at what I built out here, we have a current share price of about $25, and that's a market cap of $6 billion. And we have 234 million outstanding shares. This is important to know because over the next 10 years, we are going to see share dilution, and we're going to have more outstanding shares than we currently are today. So the first thing on the left-hand column, we have the year. So the year for this one is going to be 2025. I have 5 spaceships. Now I'm going to give 2 numbers for you guys here. We're going to start with just 5 spaceships by the year 2025, and then we'll also add a few more spaceships where it could also possibly be. And each spaceship is going to fly once per week, so that's 250 flights per year, and about 1.5 million per space flight is the amount of revenue it'll bring in. So if both of those 2 things are accurate, the ticket price and the amount of times the spaceship can fly, we would bring in about 375 million annually by the year 2025. And then we got to give that a price to sales ratio. Now this is usually dependent on its margins. We're going to expect this company to have high margins. Chamath Palihapitiya has mentioned this in the past. However, I do expect these margins to not be at its full potential because they're going to be building out this company really fast. So let's just try to give it a price to sales ratio of 40. Now this could be 30, it could be 20, it could be 60, it could be 80. I think 40 is right smack in the middle. It's conservative, it's not too aggressive, and I think it's realistic. So with a price of sales of 40, our market cap would be 11.2 billion and a share price of 64. Now I know a lot of you guys are thinking, no. This stock's gonna be trading way higher than that. You could be right. That's why I have different scenarios and different plans for the stock. Make sure you continue to watch. I'm gonna be breaking that down in just a second here. So another scenario for the year 2025 is that we would have 8 spaceships completed. That'd be 600 million revenue with a price of sales of 40. That's $18 billion market cap and $102 share price. Now we're looking pretty good. I mean, that's, a 4x return from where we are today in just 4 or 5 years. Can't complain about that. Now let's look at the year 2030. So the year 2030, this is hard to predict, guys. This is 9 years out. They could have 10 spaceships. They could have 30 spaceships. Well, realistically, probably not 30, but you know what I'm saying. They could go into insane growth mode, and who knows what they could actually produce. But anyways, I'm going to try to pick a middle number here, and this is really just a moonshot. But I'm going to pick a number of 15 spaceships. I think this is pretty conservative. I don't think this is overly aggressive, but if they can manage 15 spaceships, it means this company is actually somewhat successful and they're succeeding in their plan, which would be amazing. Don't get me wrong, this would be a really great company if they can actually succeed. So assuming 15 spaceships, we would bring in about 1.125 billion in revenue annually. And with a price to sales ratio of 40, that would give us a market cap of 33 billion and a share price of 192. Now, that's not the end there. We also need to account for share dilution. And then I'm also going to give you guys different scenarios after that. We also got to take into consideration some hype that's going to be happening really soon. And do keep this in mind, I am not including hypersonic travel at all in these predictions. I'm not going to try to predict hypersonic travel in this video. That's another video entirely. So yeah, guys, keep that in mind. This is not including hypersonic travel. That is a massive amount of revenue alone in that industry. I mean, we could be trading at a $500 share price if we include that. So another video, I will be doing that projection. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see a video like that and comment down below to let me know. But we need to account for share dilution. So for the year 2025, I'm going to assume, at least 35% share dilution. If that were to occur based off 8 spaceships, we would have a share price of $67, but that's still a 2.68x return on our money. That's very good. You are destroying the S&P 500 if you can get that kind of return. So I think that's pretty realistic here. And if we look at year 2030, I'm going to assume, at least 50% dilution by then, at least. And that would give us a share price of 96, which is a 3.84x return. Now, this isn't including hypersonic travel, guys. If that were to be included in this, the numbers would be double, triple, quadruple from here. I definitely want to do another video on that, so I will in the future, but just keep all of that in mind. Now, I do want to give a scenario for just in the next 6 months, guys, because this is a fundamental analysis based off revenue where it could be, but Virgin Galactic isn't just a long-term play. I think it's a great long-term play, but for those of you looking for a short-term play to make a massive amount of money, I think that opportunity is here, and that's based off of the Richard Branson space flight. I think when Richard Branson goes to space, which is going to be their first space flight, we are going to see massive amount of hype jump into the stock, possibly a short squeeze happen at the same time. Retail investors are going to go crazy into this. The news is going to broadcast it everywhere. It's going to be all over social media, Instagram. We're basically making history here. So with all of that in mind, plus, all of the short-term swing traders jumping in this to dump the stock after, I think we're going to see an $80+ share price when that happens, and that's expected to happen in the first or second quarter of the year 2021. So just 3 to 6 months away. we could be seeing Richard Branson go to space. I think the stock is going to hit $80 to $120 when that happens. So for those of you who are in this for the short term, I think this is an amazing opportunity to maybe even 4, 5, 6x your money just in the next 6 months. I think that's something that is totally realistic and really not much risk associated to this play, considering if this doesn't happen in the next 6 months, well, you've just invested in a company that could do very well for the long term as well. So not a whole lot of risk. Of course, the risk is this company just fails and goes bankrupt. I'm obviously not betting that. I am personally invested into Virgin Galactic. So yeah, guys, those are the scenarios I have for you. Comment down below. Let me know what your plan is with the stock. Are you looking for a short-term play or a long-term one? Personally, I am going to take advantage of both plays. I'm going to be using a portion of my money for that short-term gains, and then I'm also investing in this company for the long term. I don't want to sell this for the next 20 years, so I have a pool of money for that as well. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. Make sure to drop it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for watching until then, as always. Really appreciate that. I'll see you guys in the next video.